Hello, folks, and welcome to Cats and Conspiracies. I'm your man Codders, and I'm bringing you those hidden gems that you may or may not know about, or they just perhaps slipped you by and you completely missed out on it. I want to get these films out there and give them the love that they definitely deserve. Howard's Mill. How is nobody talking about this film? This film deserves its own fan base. It deserves its own cult following. This is such a cool film. It draws you in. There is so much to this. They barely scratch the surface in this film, and you could easily get, with a good TV company, a series out of this because there's just so much in there. I don't want to go too deeply into this. What I'm going to do, because there are spoilers in the trailer, and I think the best thing for you to do is to go into this film completely blind. Don't read up anything about it and don't even watch the full trailer. Go in, the less you know, the better. Let me show you a little bit of the trailer just to show you what I'm talking about. Let me just move myself out of the way here and let's bring this up. Right, just check out a little bit of this and you're going to get an idea of the atmosphere that I'm talking about with this film. I'll show you a
My name
little
is
bit.
Kaiser Whitmire. Me and my college classmate, Charlie Burris, are film students in Nashville, Tennessee.
I just check out these like drone overhead, haunting, eerie, empty, creepy shots that really give you that idea of I'm in a strange place here and I'm not comfortable and I have no idea what's going on.
We read about the disappearance of Emily Nixon and her husband Dwight's ongoing search for her while also remaining the primary suspect. What we thought was
It's just stuff like this, like these very slow, haunting shots, creepy as anything. And this is set in Nashville, Tennessee. The setting for this is just fantastic. It's so open and barren, and it's almost as if we're in a place that we don't really know too much about.
going to be a single day of filming turned into much more than that. Something more mysterious, more unexplainable.
Can you hear that music in the background? That kind of comes in a few times in the film. Really sets the scene as well. Just eerie.
More sinister.
This has happened before. In 1994, a little girl named Sarah Winston
Okay, I'm going to stop it in a sec.
disappeared right there at Howard's Mill.
Oh my goodness, honey. Sarah, baby.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there just for a second because I don't want to show you anymore because there are some spoilers in there. But I love this scene with the girl here. Let me just take it back a little bit just to show you. I love the old school camcorder shot of this kid disappearing over the hill there, and I'll tell you what it actually made me think of. It reminded me of this. If any of you guys remember this one, this is an old paranormal photograph. I think it's from the 60s or 70s. The story behind it was the guy, he's got a new camera, he's taking his camera out with his family, taking some pictures out on this hill. And when they develop the pictures, one of the things they notice is what appears to be a futuristic style spaceman standing behind this kid, despite the husband saying there was nothing in the frame apart from the kid when he took the picture. The boring debunkers have come in and tried to say it was actually his wife, who kind of, I think she had her back to the camera there and she was wearing a blue dress, but due to the exposure, it made it look white. The helmet was, the round shape was like a cloud or possibly the moon low in the sky. And what appears to be the visor was her hair. But where's the fun in that? I don't enjoy that one. I much prefer the story that this was a futuristic, spooky kind of spaceman or something like that. But Howard's Mill, yeah, this film needs some love, without a doubt. It's directed by Shannon Hutchins, who's done a fantastic job with this, as has everyone involved, all the actors, everything has gone into this. You can tell this is, they put their heart and soul into this, without a doubt, and I think they've had a fantastic result. It's kind of hard to actually categorize where you would put this film. I certainly wouldn't call it out and out horror, although it does have some spooky, scary bits in it. Maybe a bit of sci-fi. I think the word that really comes to mind when I watch it is like eerie and unsettling. Not really sure what's going on. So the story, as you saw a little bit from the trailer, is about Dwight. He's our main man. His wife has gone missing, vanished while they were out on this field metal detecting. And not only is he investigating, trying to find out what's happened to her, he's also the prime suspect in her disappearance. His wife is called Emily. Our two cameramen, we've got Kaiser and Charlie, I think they're student filmmakers, and they've heard about this story and they're interested. And they've just gone in to make a documentary about it to try and find out what's going on. Man's got his wife missing, looking for her. He's also the prime suspect. And they just think it's an interesting story. But what actually happens as they start to investigate is some patterns begin to emerge. And not giving any spoilers away because this is kind of revealed fairly early on, they find out that another child went missing in the same place in the same manner, just vanished. No one knows what happened to her. So there's a link with the place that they're in and the things that are happening. The film's filmed in a kind of documentary style. So as they're interviewing Dwight, our main man, they're also interviewing locals, ex-police, and people that live around the area. And also some of the other people they find that are connected to this disappearance. So we get a lot of stories going on. It does kind of keep you guessing, actually, because there are some points where people are re-interviewed and their story slightly changes, or there are things that they omitted to say. So it does kind of keep you guessing as if something really is going on here, or perhaps it's not as strange and spooky as you first thought. The eeriness of this film I love. The desolate, open quietness is the perfect setting. It really, really is. These overhead, creepy, haunting shots. You're just not quite sure what's going on. It really gives you that feeling of like being watched from a distance. You feel it, but you can't prove it. And you're not sure what is going on. I actually found it kind of hard to place this film, compare it to others, but it reminded me of a couple of other things. It reminded me a little bit of Blair Witch Project in the way that it is filmed in a documentary style. So they're going around, they're interviewing people, and as they're doing it, they kind of getting drawn into it as well. So they become part of the story as they're investigating. It also reminded me a little bit of Mothman Prophecies, another fantastic film, which definitely missed a lot of people, passed a lot of people by. Great film, really, really creepy, really spooky, where this feeling of being watched, these overhead shots, and you're not quite sure what's going on. It's just confusing, and parts of it don't make sense. I'll definitely be covering the Mothman Prophecies at some point. Great film. Also reminded me a little bit of Donnie Darko for some reason. I don't want to go into too much as to why, because I don't want you to have any spoilers for this film. I think the absolute best thing that you can do is just go into this film completely blind. Know nothing about it other than the fact if you really enjoy storytelling, slow story unfolding, a bit of a mystery, perhaps a little bit supernatural, not quite sure, then this is the film for you. If you, like me, you've had enough of Hollywood, you're bored of it, and you want to find stories that have that creativity again, that intrigue. And that is what I believe this film does. It is a fantastic story to tell. It really draws you in. And I have so much respect for the people that can create these films, these stories like this. They have an idea in their head and they can put it to film, and they can do it in such a way that it can draw us in and we can really enjoy it. So hats off to everybody involved in this film. You've done a fantastic job. In fact, one of the things that I found interesting was when I had a look on IMDb just to see what other people were saying about it, read a couple of reviews, a lot of great comments from people saying like, I am so surprised by this. I was not expecting this to be as good as it was. Like a fantastic story. It needs more. It leaves so much, or you almost want more from it. But the amount of people that actually said, which is crazy, they were like, I'm really disappointed. I thought this was an actual documentary. This is just a film. I mean, I would take that if I was the producers and the makers of this film as a massive compliment, because you've done a fantastic job here in creating this faux documentary, which people have actually believed is real. Testament to the direction and the actors in this. Clearly done a a sterling job. So, Howard's Mill. I think one of the reasons this film may have slipped by a little bit is the title. It tells you nothing. It almost sounds like an old drama series that used to be on TV back in the 80s. But Howard's Mill is merely the place where all of this, all these strange events occur. So it gives nothing away, really. And I think that's a good thing, because I think this is going to find its own fan base. And that's what I want to do with this video, guys. I want to get it out there. Tell your friends. If they have that hunger for some decent filmmaking passion projects, then this is for them. If they're people who get very bored easily and they need the flashing lights and the superheroes and the CGI green screens, they're not going to enjoy this at all, because this is a slow burner. Okay, but guys, get out there, go and watch Howard's Mill. It's currently on Prime. You can watch it for nothing. It's streaming out there. It's very, very accessible, and I think you need to see this. You're going to have a great time with it. So go and check it out. And if you do see it, or you've already seen it, hit me up with some comments, because I'd love to know what you think. And also, if you've got any other hidden gem movies that you want me to take a look at and get the word out there, spread it about, get it some love, then again, hit me up in the comments. But till next time, guys, I've been your man Codders. This is Cats Conspiracies, and I'll see you again soon.